We're Stevie and Tay, and we're Australian Samoan twins born and raised out west. We'll be sharing real and authentic content that encompasses the true essence of who we are and what we stand for, which is self-love, self-care, and self-education. Hi beautiful people! We actually cannot believe that we have reached our 10th episode. At the beginning of this year, we set out on a mission to publish 10 YouTube episodes over 6 months. The purpose of each episode was always to encourage, inspire, and empower you to live your best life. Take back your health into your own hands with what we believe to be 3 key principles of optimal health. Over the weeks, we have covered a wide variety of topics, but we have truly saved the best to last. Today we want to talk about the most important topic of all, one that is too often forgotten, and sadly so many of us are not even aware of what it really even is. Almost all of us struggle with understanding and accepting this vital act, and that is the act of self-love. Some may struggle with the idea of loving yourself, while it may come easy to others. For me personally, self-love was never really an issue. I grew up with a carefree, happy-go-lucky attitude to life. I knew deep down that I loved myself because I always felt free just to be me. What other people thought of me never really bothered me. I knew that what was the most important thing was what I thought of myself. In hindsight, I wasn't loving myself in a narcissistic way. It was just me loving myself and living my truth. My beautiful sister, on the other hand, did not see it this way. She definitely struggled with self-love. So I want to honor her story and let her open up her heart to you, because I know so many of you will be able to resonate and relate to it. So I remember the first time I ever heard of this idea of self-love. I initially thought it was pretty much being self-centered and up yourself, really. Self-love was something that just didn't sit well with me, but I didn't ever really understand why. I guess it was because I had this voice inside of my head that kept saying, "You don't understand what that is. Who do you think you are, Stevie? People are gonna think you're a lovo." After a while, curiosity got the better of me and I started to pay a bit more attention to this notion. At the same time, I was becoming more and more aware of how destructive this inner voice of mine really was. So I came to the point where I decided, you know what, I'm gonna learn about this thing called self-love. And I started to really work on myself and this inner voice of mine. So I found myself on this mission to overhaul my lifestyle, which you're obviously well aware of, and really work on bettering myself. The funny thing is, the more awareness that I built, the smarter this inner voice of mine became. It went from saying things like, "Who do you think you are? People are gonna think you're a lovo," to saying things like, "Okay, well if you stick to this routine and you consistently stick at it, then you can finally love yourself." Or when you reach that goal weight and the numbers on the scale are exactly what you want to see, then you can finally love yourself. If I don't eat that and I'm really strict with my diet, then you can finally love yourself. To me, looking back on it now, it just screams, you aren't good enough. Stevie, you are still not good enough. So while I was trying to overhaul my lifestyle and I was in this, different frame of mind, I still wasn't coming at it from the right angle. It wasn't a healthy mindset and it wasn't the right way of going about finding love for myself. It wasn't until I actually had this light bulb moment, which was only really a year ago, if I'm really gonna be honest. So I had this moment about self-love and it really, truly awakened me. I had decided at that point to stop going to war with myself. So I went from chasing self-love to actually understanding and realizing that I am self-love. It was this truth that really hit home for me, and that truth is that every human being's natural state is love. Finally, I understood that it was about honoring myself in each moment of every day and really tuning in and listening to my body, listening to my soul. I'm now conscious of what I eat because I honor myself. I now choose to move my body because I honor myself. I now choose to prioritize self-care because I want to honor myself. Don't get me wrong, it is still a work in progress and it always will be. That voice will never go away. But now I consciously work on self-love and that inner voice of mine. And by doing this, every day that voice gets weaker. I hear it less often And when I do, I know how to turn that voice down. It no longer has a hold on me. And it's only been after years of unpacking these limiting beliefs around self-love that I've actually given myself permission to accept it. And I can now really truly look you in the eye and I can tell you that I love myself. For me now, everything else is a byproduct of self-love. I flip self-love on its head, and instead of going from, oh, I've got to exercise because that means that I love myself, or, you know, I can't eat those things because, you know, I love myself. I changed it and I went from, if I just love myself, then I won't need to restrict myself or have the willpower to not make bad decisions. I just won't make those decisions, and I'll make the right decisions because I love myself and I honor myself. Everything else is just easier when you choose to come from a place of self-love. Choosing what to eat, living a life of good health, maintaining that weight, prioritizing your well-being, checking in with yourself mentally, giving yourself a break, keeping a positive mindset, and just being kind to myself. It's just easier. It's like this weight has been lifted off my shoulders, and to be honest, I feel free. Self-love is the answer to everything. It's where it all starts and where it all ends. Even though we're finishing up our episodes for now, we've still got big plans in the future for this channel, so stay tuned and keep up to date with us on Instagram. We're currently about to kick off our monthly workshops, with our first one being here in Southwest Sydney. So if you're interested in attending, make sure you follow us on Instagram, where we've got a link in our bio for tickets and all the information you'll need. So for now, we want to say a big heartfelt thank you for tuning in to watch us. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for sharing your stories. We truly appreciate it all and we are so grateful. Until next time, guys. Bye. Yay! Yay, we did it!